Hello humans, welcome back to my channel. Now it's a new year, which means it is time to update my makeup inventory. Now I think last year I only showed my blush, bronzer, highlight, and eyeshadow palette collections, but this year I'm going to do the whole kit and caboodle. We'll see how it goes. This video specifically is going to be primer, foundation, and concealer. I'm just going to go through everything I have. So, before you, we have 12 primers. And I think this is all of them. It better be. Let's first talk about the ones I'm working on right now. I'm working on 3. This is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright primer. 1 fluid ounce. It is a bit of a darker color, but it gives a nice little sheen to the skin, and it's hydrating. Other than that, it doesn't stand out too much in my mind. This is not something I would repurchase once I finish it up, but I am still a little ways away from doing that. I'm also working on the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer, 1 fluid ounce from the drugstore, and this is a little bit more primery feeling than the Ole Henriksen. It doesn't feel quite as much like a moisturizer, it feels more like a primer, like it's a bit smoothing. But again, it just gives that little bit of a glow. It's a little bit shimmery. And again, this is not something I'm going to repurchase when I'm done. But again, I still have a little ways to go on it. The last primer in a project pan is my MAC Strobe Cream. Again, I have a long ways to go. This is the mini size. It's 1 fluid ounce, 30 mils. And this one I don't love. And I guess you could call this a liquid highlighter. I have it in the primer section. Oh, this is the pink light version. I don't know. It's reflective, it's pretty, but not a fave. I think it's just too pink. And I already have pink skin, so I don't think I need extra pinkness, if that makes sense. So again, not going to buy this one again. Now, the rest of these, I haven't used too much. This is Danessa Myricks Prism FX Hydrating Lotion. This is only half a fluid ounce, and this was expensive. I bought this because Amy Loves Makeup recommended it, and honestly, it's very similar to the Strobe Cream. It gives that pink reflect, and it's pretty, but I don't love it. And this costs a lot of money, so I'm going to use it up and then not buy it again. I have 2 more minis that are 15 mils. This is the Juice Beauty Photopigments Illuminating Primer. I have no real thoughts on this. I don't think I love it. I got it like as a point perk. It's another one of those just hydrating, a little bit greasy, sort of glowy primers. Nothing to write home about. Nothing that I particularly care for. But I'll get to it eventually and use it up. The other small size I have is my newest primer. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I fell in love with this last year when I had a sample of it. I have not touched this one. I am saving it. Can't wait to use it. It's thick, it's rich, it smells lovely, it's moisturizing. It's beautiful. The CoverGirl True Blend Moisturizing primer is just kind of a moisturizing primer. It just feels like a moisturizer. It doesn't feel like there's any other priming benefits. Maybe it leaves the skin a little bit tacky, a little bit smoothed out. Okay, I take it back. I did notice after having it sunk into my skin, that CoverGirl primer does feel very smooth on my hand. The primer that I only have one of its kind is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer by First Aid Beauty. Now I got this one because I wanted one like pore filling primer, but I hate the silicone kind of primers. And this is more of a lotion texture, but it does leave the skin a little bit matte, a little bit blurred, fills in the pores, a little bit drying, so I have to be careful where I put it, but it is nice. There's no way I'm gonna like try and use this one up by any means. I think I'm just gonna have it and use it in places where I feel I require it. This Sleek Hydrating Primer is, oh, it's only 20 mils. Interesting. It's still sealed, brand new. I got this in my advent calendar for Christmas from Look Fantastic. Have not used it. Have no thoughts. And then two more moisturizing primers. We have the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie. This one has a little bit of a beige tone to it. And I haven't used it enough to gather very many thoughts, but this is just the mini size. It's a hydrating primer. Feels pretty nice on my hand right now. And this is the Good Molecules Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. So this is a primer moisturizer combo. It even says you can use this at night. It feels like a lotion. It feels nice and hydrating. I haven't used it a ton, and this is a very large bottle. This is 50 mils. So I'll be at this a while once I start using it. And another untouched primer is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. As you can see, brand spanking new. Now I'm a little bit worried to try this. I've heard not great things about the luminous version. I did enjoy the regular putty primer when I had it, but I'm just sort of leaving this until I get to it, and then I'll see. I should test it out, but I'm working on too many primers right now to do that. I'm trying to get rid of some of my older ones, and then I can maybe dabble around. Alright, that's all the primers. Let's move on to foundations. Foundations. Which foundations am I currently working on? I'm currently working on the NYX Born to Glow. This package is empty because this shade wasn't quite right, so I have it in an airless pump like this one with some shade adjusters. This is the shade Light Porcelain right there. And I don't have enough thoughts to decide whether or not I would purchase this one again. Something I don't think I would buy again. I am also working on the It Cosmetics CC Plus. This is the shade Fair, I think. This is just a mini. I also have it mixed into an airless pump, but look how dark this shade is. That is not fair in the slightest. So I had to mix a lot of stuff with this one. Ah, fair. Why would they write it up there? That's so weird. Anyways, I don't think I would buy this one again. And I don't love the formula either. It looks really nice when I first apply it, but it doesn't last very well on my skin. The next one I have in an airless pump, this is the original bottle, the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation in the shade LC1. I have lightened it in this airless pump, but I haven't tested it in a long time, so I don't know if this is the correct shade. But again, this shade is so dark. There was no way, oh, it's a little goopy. There was no way this was gonna match me. Oh, this is very fragranced. So I had to mix this one up a little bit. I think I've heard they were discontinuing this. I don't know. I haven't tried this one enough to know if I would repurchase it. But probably not. And they're discontinuing it, so whatever. I don't like the packaging. It's not a great shade range. This one's gonna get worked on this year. Mark my words. This Clinique Even Better Glow foundation is also in a project pan. I haven't started using it though. It's still all the way full. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this one because this is also too dark. Everything is too dark. This is CN10 Alabaster. I don't know what's alabaster about this. This is too dark. So dark. I don't know what people look at the color wheel and go, oh, alabaster. How about a dark beige? I'm gonna have to mix this with something. Or get real tan this summer, which is not likely to happen. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. Now this one, I did just finish one of these foundations. This is a different shade though. This is the shade, what is this shade? 100N. I finished 100C. Believe it or not, this was 100N is more cool toned than 100C. Doesn't make any sense. This is brand new, never used. I did like that foundation, but I didn't love it, so I'm currently seeing if I can sell this one. But if not, I will get to it, and this will be a better shade for me anyways. The Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Cloud. Now I have adjusted this one, so I won't swatch it. This was actually too light for me, believe it or not. Just a hair. I also don't think I love this one. I think it's a little bit too matte for me. But I haven't used it in a while. This one, after I finish the NYX, I'm probably going to start working on this one. So its time is coming, but I can't foresee myself falling in love with this one. Okay, the last one I can't swatch for you because I have mixed it. This was MAC Face and Body in C1. MAC doesn't have a foundation shade for me. I don't know what it is. I thought they were makeup artists at MAC. I thought that was their whole thing. This is too dark for me. I had to mix it. Otherwise, I would love this foundation. It's sheer, nice little veil of coverage. But I'm too pale for MAC. I don't know how. It's a thing. Okay, NARS. Two very different shades here. We have the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation and the NARS Sheer Glow. This is in Oslo. This is a great shade match for me. And then this one is in Siberia, which looks a little bit lighter, but it's much more yellow. Oslo is much more pink. But Siberia is lighter. So it's kind of a toss-up. But anyways, we're going to do a little bit of a swatchy swatch. So, Oslo's pretty light and pretty pink. And Siberia, I don't have the pump on this one. I didn't think ahead. I also have not used this one. Yeah, Siberia is very fair, but also very yellow. So I'm going to have to mix in some purple into this one, but I think once I do that, it should be a fine color. But I haven't used the Sheer Glow. I should. I love this foundation. This is a great full coverage foundation. It's very natural looking for a pretty full coverage. I think NARS foundations might be where my heart is going to lie. Just because it has a shade that matches me. It says a lot when a shade matches you. Another thing that actually matches me is the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This is in the shade 13. This is a great shade for me. And this one is a little bit pink, but it's fairly neutral too. Like it's less pink than Oslo, but it is a little bit pink. That's a lovely shade. I don't think that I've actually worn this all over my face yet, though. I have so many foundations and I'm trying to work through the older ones, and then maybe I'll start rotating them around. But anyways, I'm a terrible person. We know this. We get it. It's fine. The Ink Lasting Cover in 01. This I bought, by Peripera. This, we had a little explosion. This is a little bit runny. This one is an okay match on me. Perhaps a little bit warm, but it is light enough as far as I recall. And I do think I've only worn this once. Because I'm a shame, I'm a fraud. I hoard my makeup and I don't use it. The Laneige cushion, this is in 13 Ivory. This is the anti-aging cushion and it comes with a refill. We'll just move this off there. This one's a little bit dark for me, but it's good in the summer, which is when I enjoy a cushion, little sheer moment. Funny enough, not as dark as the Peripera, and I think the Peripera has oxidized. You can barely even see that, but as you can see, it's very sheer coverage, and it's just a nice little cushion moment. I do like that one. I like having something super sheer just to throw on in the summer. I got in a box charm. It's the Purely's Perfect Glow BB Cream in the shade Light. I got the shade Light. I should have gotten the shade Fair. I don't know how I got the shade Light, but I have it. And I opened it, so it's here. Now actually this is a pretty neutral looking undertone, so I might be able to lighten that pretty easily. I'm less concerned. But this is 40 mils. Whatever. This is my newest foundation. I'm not getting to it in a while. And I think this doesn't expire until 2023. I don't know if that makes any sense. This expiry date is confusing. I have not used this. It is my it's my newest foundation, so I'm not going to get around to it for a while. Okay. The current one I'm working on is my oldest, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Cloud. Again, this is a touch light for me. It's nice and brightening when I'm wearing foundation, but this is not a concealer I can wear on its own because people will think I am dead. I'm pretty sure one of the days I was wearing this, one of my coworkers asked if I was sick. But I appreciate its paleness. I'm currently working on finishing this one. It might take me forever, I don't know. We shall see. I would not repurchase this one though, it's a little bit too dry for me. A little matte. Not my favorite. Now I have two of these e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers. I have the shade Fair Beige and I have the shade Fair Rose. I'll swatch that Too Faced one. So it's very, very fair. I'm going to swatch Fair Rose from e.l.f. As you can see, I've used this one a decent little amount, enough to get a good feel for it. And this one is a little bit darker and a little bit more pink. So that works out pretty nicely for me. I will not swatch Fair Beige because I have adjusted this one. This one was very peach. And I tried to use it as a color corrector, and that's how I was going to use it up, but it does not work well under things. it made everything over top of it too thick, creasy, gross. So this one I just adjusted, and I'm going to try and use it up as a regular concealer. Next we have the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Fairest. And this has a funny little brush guy. This is kind of clumpy. There's a lot of air in this, which makes, and I have used this clearly. Huh. I should maybe work on this one next because that brush thing is getting kind of gross. Oddly enough, lighter than the Too Faced. Interesting. I'm probably not going to buy this one again. My favorite one is the Uoma, and I might just stick with this, and if I fall in love with any other ones, whatever, but this one is going to be my go-to. This is brand new, unopened. I am saving it. This is White Pearl T0.5. That elf one I think oxidized. Maybe everything's oxidizing. Another sealed concealer is the NYX Born to Glow in the shade Pale. Have not used, no thoughts. One that's a little bit dark for me is Frozen. The shade Frozen from the Moist Creamy Concealer by Apu. So this one I'm going to work on in the summer. A little bit more on the warm tone shade side. And I think I've only used this once when I first got it, so I have no thoughts on it. And this little guy is the MAC Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette in the shade Light. I got this one because I was doing someone's makeup for a wedding, and I figured I'd be able to use it, and it would be a little bit darker for that person. Ooh, that's peachy. That's orange. That's very orange. I really don't love that I have this palette. I don't really know what to do with it. These two shades I can work with, not so much these two, and these are little color correctors. So I probably should start working on the color correctors. What do you use yellow for? I'm not sure. I'm sure sometime this year I'll start working on this. And maybe it would be nice to have this for like spot concealing. But I don't really do spot concealing all that much. I just throw on my whole face and call it a day. Anyways, I still have this. I got it like in the fall, in like September or something, so I'm not worried about it going bad yet. I have lots of time. Maybe I'll start working on the salmon color corrector just to have it look used. But I don't really want to gravitate towards this. The whole pot concealer thing, not my jam. I like a doe foot, just a classic doe foot. Alright folks, that is the end of this collection of base products. Stay tuned to find out what my other collections look like. The next installment should probably be powder, blush and bronzer, or maybe just powder and bronzer, I'm going to say. I can spread these videos out. And I have just gotten a nosebleed, so I have to go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell to become a Pavlovian dog. And I'll see you next time. Bye!